When I was young, I had 2 pair of leaves. Besides that, the pinstripes and the gray. The one I wore on Mondays and Wednesdays. While niggas flirt, I'm throwing tigers on my shirt and alligators. You wanna see the inside? I see you later. Here come the drama. Oh, that's that nigga with the fake. Wow, why you punch me in my face? Stay in your place, play your position. Here come my intuition. Go in this nigga pocket, rob him while his friends watch it, and hoes clock it. Here comes respect. His crew's your crew, or they might be next. Look at they man, big man, they never try, so we roll with them. I stole with them, I mean loyalty. Niggas bought me milks at lunch. The milks with chocolate, the cookies, butter crunch, 80 lunch, 80 lunch. Long as I got stuff for most of them soft. Even when I was wrong, I got my point across. They depicted me the boss. Of course, my orange box cutter make the world go round. Plus I'm fucking bitches ain't my homegirls now. Start stacking, dabbled in crack, gun packing. Nickname Medina, made the scenes, took my Ninas. From gym class to in-glass, pass off for global. The only nigga with a mobile. Can't you see like total? Getting larger in waist and taste. Ain't no telling where this felon is heading. Just in case, keep a shell at the tip of your melon. Clear the space. Your brain was a terrible thing to waste. Realizing to master enterprise, and I ain't have to be in school by 10. I then began to encounter with my counterparts to how to burn the block apart. Break it down into sections. Drugs by these selections. Some use pipes, others use injections. Syringe sold separately. Frank the deputy, quick to grab my Smith & Wesson like my dick was missing. To protect my position, my corner, my layer. While we out here, say the hustler's prayer. If the game shakes me or breaks me, I hope it makes me a better man. Take a better stand, put money in my mom's hand. Get my daughter this college plan, so she don't need no man. Stay far from timid, only make moves when your heart's in it. And live the phrase, sky's the limit. Motherfucker. 88. And live the phrase, sky's the limit. Put money in my mom's hand. Get my daughter this college plan, so she don't need no man. Stay far from timid, only make moves when your heart's in it. And live the free sky's the limit. nigga never been as broke as me. I like that. When I was young, I had 2 pair of leaves. Besides that, the pinstripes and the gray. The one I wore on Mondays and Wednesdays. While niggas flirt, I'm throwing tigers on my shirt and alligators. You wanna see the inside? Huh? I see you later. They come the drama. Oh, that's that nigga with the fake. Wow, why you punch me in my face? Stay in your place, play your position. Here come my intuition. Go in this nigga pocket, rob him while his friends watch it, and hoes clock it. Here comes respect. His crew's your crew, or they might be next. Look at they man, big man, they never try, so we roll with them. I stole with them. I mean loyalty. Niggas bought me milks at lunch. The milks with chocolate, the cookies, butter crunch, 80 lunch, 80 lunch. Long as I got stuff for most of them soft. Even when I was wrong, I got my point across. They depicted me the boss. Of course, my orange box cutter make the world go round. Plus I'm fucking bitches ain't my homegirls now. Start stacking, dabbled in crack, gun packing. Nickname Medina, made the scenes, took my Ninas. From gym class to English, pass off for global. The only nigga with a mobile. Can't you see like total? Getting larger in waist and taste. Ain't no telling where this felon is heading. Just in case, keep a shell at the tip of your melon. Clear the space. Your brain was a terrible thing to waste. To master enterprise, and I ain't have to be in school by 10. I then began to encounter with my counterparts of how to burn the block apart. Break it down into sections, drugs by these selections.
Man. Man, oh man. Man, oh man. What is going on, everybody? What is going on? Welcome back to another edition of the post-show reviews. Man. How's everybody doing, bro? How is everybody doing? How is everybody doing on this fine Sunday night, almost Monday morning? Man. Yes, it is just it is just Manager Logan for tonight. Obviously, my main man, Sir K, is not here tonight. He did watch the show. He did not like the show. He did not like the show from what I get. He liked certain things on the show. But overall, I think he's feeling the same way I'm feeling in terms of, man. I mean, obviously, I'm going to bring you guys the review. And obviously, we're going to get things done, bro. We're going to kill it. But these Forbidden Door shows, in all honesty, are not very review-worthy shows in the terms of there are things on the show that do, I guess, tie into AEW television and, you know, can tie into further things down the line. But I was telling Sir K, it was absolutely one of the... It was absolutely, man, it absolutely gives me vibes of what me and Sir K were going to do for Survivor Series in 2022. Because after Survivor Series 2021, me and Sir K were both like, man, I don't know if we're going to do the Survivor Series review anymore, because Survivor Series 2021 was pretty boring show. it was a pretty boring show overall. I remember the show just being I remember the show just being just very, you know, it was just a very boring show, was Survivor Series 2021. So moving into 2022, me and Sir K were obviously both moving under the mindset of let's not review the fucking show anymore because it's brand versus brand. None of it means anything. It ties into nothing. Nothing happens. Nobody gets anything. There's no consequence. There's no reward. There's nothing to the show. And now here we are, 2 years. Now the thing with WWE is a lot of people like to say like brand versus brand was dead. I mean, obviously it got to that point, but honestly, the first couple of years, they actually turned out really fucking good shows. Like Survivor Series 2016, 17, 18, 19. I remember those all being very good shows. In my opinion. Now, if you guys, feel another way, that's understandable. I know people got tired of the concept, but personally, I enjoyed those shows. But as we got to 20 and 2021, they put on fucking all-time fucking stinkers in those shows, man, and I thought they sucked. So when they were gonna do away with the concept, me as a lot of other people were okay with it. And like I said, man, we weren't gonna do Survivor Series because the concept over the past 2 years had gave us nothing but shit shows. We turned out okay reviews there. We turned out okay reviews for 2020 and 2021 Survivor Series, but the show, we weren't going to review it anymore. Because the show just sucked. The show sucked. Those Survivor Series shows sucked. And like I said, WWE turned out good shows the first couple of years they brought the concept back in 2016. But after that, man, I mean, the show kind of just went to shit. And then you look at Forbidden Door. And I'm watching the show tonight, like I said, man, and it's just giving me a lot of fucking Survivor Series vibes. It's giving me a lot of Survivor Series vibes with the stuff that, goes on the show. So, yeah, like I said, man, you got MJF out there fighting fucking whoever the fuck. Okada ends up pinning Tanahashi. Tanahashi's never there. He's not, this isn't going to tie back into anything on AEW television. This could maybe tie into something in a couple months at Wrestle Kingdom if Okada wants to return. But who fucking watches that anymore? You look up and down to the Tony and Mina Shirakawa stuff. It was kind of a little odd because I think, at least I was, and, I know there's going to be people out there saying, well, you shouldn't expect it. You shouldn't expect too much. You're right. I shouldn't. I should not hold this company to the standard that it was just 2 short years ago. I shouldn't. But Tony and Mina Shirakawa, I was expecting some sort of tension, some sort of tease, because, again, now we have to build to All In. And if Mariah May is going to win the tournament, are we going to build to some sort of tension between her and Tony Storm? Are we gonna do something of that sort, or are we gonna build the tension? Is she gonna turn on her? Nothing. So that kind of was a little odd. Logan, you are right. We do watch Wrestle Kingdom, but we don't watch Wrestle Kingdom in the sense of we don't watch Wrestle Kingdom to review it, or we basically get no mention out of that. That's basically our one token show a year to all watch a show together on Discord. So that's kind of like the cheat meal of wrestling shows. Usually, I don't watch shows on Discord with the guys or whatnot. Usually I'm out in my living room and we're all fucking breaking bread, as some say, over some pizza and some RC or some Pepsi or whatever we have for the night. And Logan has his own obligations as well to when he watches his shows. So that's like our cheat meal. That's like our cheat meal show. But in terms of watching and being excited for Wrestle Kingdom, the only thing excited about it, I think that me and Logan have caught on to is the past couple years. The only thing excited about Wrestle Kingdom is seeing how far Sir K can get into the show before he's sleeping in his fucking chair. So that's basically about it when it comes to that. But yeah, but that show's like our cheat meal. That one doesn't really count. Yeah, well, yeah, we might have a 2-night extravaganza coming up with these fucking shows, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But yeah, man, honestly, what was I saying? How these things don't tie back. Yeah, I think I was pretty much. I think I was pretty much. Oh, and then, yeah, and then I mean, you just, yeah, that's pretty much about done with what I was saying for things not tying back, but it just doesn't. Again, it just doesn't really mean much, man. It doesn't really mean much, and I don't know. I don't know. I obviously want to bring you guys, I want to bring you guys, all these reviews. I want to bring you guys all these reviews, and I do try to keep it consistent, and I'm trying to, get better with the AEW reviews and which shows we go live for and not. And we have been going live for basically any of them because, to be 100% honest, as of 2 months ago, we weren't gonna do Forbidden Door. We weren't going to do Forbidden Door, but I said to myself, man, even if it's me by myself, for these reviews, and I completely understand if Sir K doesn't want to do them because these shows turn out to be very boring. Again, but as what I was saying, 2 months ago, literally as far back as 2-3 months ago, this was off the table. I mean, we were not doing Forbidden Door, but as we started to bring you guys every single WWE pay-per-view review because they're that fucking good and everything ties back, and it's almost like you gotta watch. You can't blink or else you'll miss something, in terms of the content they give and just how rich things have been in story. Maybe they don't always go the way we want them to, but rich in story regardless. We started to do every WWE review, and I did want to keep it consistent for, people that do watch AEW and to, I guess give back to you guys as well, because, yeah, I mean, the show, I do get, there's people that do like the company, and there is, even though it is a niche, it is still a market. There is still a market for it, and hell, some people probably are watching this review to hear me rant about AEW, and you are going to get your wish. And there also is going to be people that come here to just, I guess, hear the good of AEW, and there is a lot of that on tonight as well. But so yeah, just, I guess, playing up to both demos, if you will. But yeah, man. So yeah, this honestly, man, was off the table. It was off the table. But like I said, man, as we kind of came to a mutual agreement, whether it's me by myself or the both of us, that we're going to at least try to do all the shows as a 2-man, or if not, they'll just be done as a 1-man. But either way, we will be doing all the WWE reviews. And going back to Logan's comment, he says, now you're reviewing damn near every WWE show because they all have purpose and meaning. And yes, like they do. And like I said, man, everything ties back to something. And I honestly don't mind doing the AEW reviews, but this one, man, it's rough. It's rough, man. Like I said, just a lot of things don't tie in. A lot of things don't tie in, man, and that does suck. But we'll get to it. Man. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Notorious Hills Podcast. Another edition of your Forbidden Door 2024 official review. This was, like I said, your AEW New Japan's Forbidden Door pay-per-view review, man. And if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know how the show works, every Monday we're on here with Notorious Unscripted. And every Friday at 4 p.m. Central, we're on here with the news, man. If you guys did miss this past Friday's episode of the news, Indianapolis getting huge WWE shows in the near future. That is episode 220. Not available for you guys yet. I should have that and this edition of the Forbidden Door review up tomorrow afternoon for you guys, man. But if you guys do want to find us on all platforms, you guys can find us on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. And if you want to see it first, join us right here live after the big shows for WWE. Honestly, at this point, after all the pay-per-views for WWE and AEW. If you guys, yes. Also, if you guys have not got a chance to get your hands on some of the official Notorious Sales Podcast merchandise, you guys can now find this live on the merch shop that is bonfire.com. Link is in the top description of this very video and in either mine or SK's social media pages, man. You got all 8 of these beautiful designs and more available on the merch shop for you guys. Again, that is bonfire.com. Link is in the top description of this very video, man. Also, if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know who I am here at the Notorious Hills Podcast, my name is Johnny. I am one half of the host of this very podcast. As for the other half, my man is not here tonight, but he will be joining us tomorrow for Unscripted. But if you don't know who he is, even though I know his name, you know his name, it is my man Sir K. Yeah, man. Again, like I said, he is not here tonight, as you guys could tell, but he will be here tomorrow for Unscripted, man. But yeah, man. So, as Durante always asks, I'm good. Family's good. What about you, Durante? Logan, Bell, Pops, how you guys doing? Thank you guys for being here, as always, man. And yeah, bro. So, man. Yeah. AEW, bro. They ended up having 15 matches on this card. 11 of them. Wait, hold on. No, I'm stupid. 9 of them on the main card, I believe. 10 of them on the main card. 10 of these matches were on the main card. So it's pretty loaded card, as all AEW shows are. It actually ended at 11, which shocked me, because I fully expected this to near 12 o'clock. But I know I say it every time, and it sounds like a broken record. They got to stop this shit. And if they do want their shows to be fucking 10 matches deep on the card, you gotta start them at 6 o'clock Central. You cannot start them at 7 o'clock Central, bro. It is too fucking late to start what you want to be a 4-hour pay-per-view at 7 o'clock. 6 to 10 would have been perfect. It would have been fucking perfect. We would have been live at 10:30 and all would have been well in the world. But holy shit, man. Unbelievable, man. They gotta stop. However, again, also sound like a broken record. Again, big props to AEW for putting these godforsaken pay-per-views on YouTube, man. I mean, wow. I mean, it is so much easier. Logging onto YouTube, clicking onto the stream, clicking purchase ticket, and I click 2 more buttons, and the pay-per-view stream is playing on my screen. Absolute mad props to them. Even though Tony just came out during some interview he did, I think it was with Sports Illustrated, and he did say that they are going to find simpler ways to distribute AEW pay-per-views. Yeah, he did say that they are going to find simpler ways to distribute the shows, and he promised the fans basically that there's going to be simpler distribution of their pay-per-views coming very soon, and they're going to get a good deal for AEW. So I am really hoping that, you know, they go to, which I think they will. I think that they're absolutely going to go to HBO Max or one of their streaming outputs, which for Warner, again, Max is the main one. So I would assume they would go there. But Hopefully that gets strucken down because very quickly, because the fans have been through so much with with Bleacher Report for the past 5 years, and enough is fucking enough, man. Seriously, bro, enough is enough. It is long overdue. Again, it's a lifesaver that now, right as we're at the finish line to their streaming deal, now they want to give us some sort of streaming deal, or not some sort. They now, out of the past 5 years, now that we're at the finish line to a streaming deal, now they want to, add YouTube and all these other different places where, you can distribute the streams. So it does make it a lot easier. Again, it makes it a lot easier, but all they got to do now, take away that $50 price tag and just have people pay, the cost of whatever it costs to fucking pay for HBO Max. I think it's like $15 or something a month. Absolutely fine with that, bro. Absolutely fine with that. It beats 50 every month. So yeah, but yeah, man, thank you guys for joining us for another pay-per-view review, man. Again, like I said, we are live for all the WWE and AEW shows directly after the show goes off the air, man. So yes, tonight emanated from the UBS Arena in Long Island, New York. Obviously, Long Island is always a good crowd. It is always a good crowd, man, for AEW. It's always a good crowd, and it's always a good crowd. Never, usually never a bad crowd from Long Island. But I think the last time they were here was for World's End. I think they were in the same place. I'm pretty sure they were in the UBS Arena for... Yeah, I'm almost positive they were in Long Island for World's End. And coincidentally, in the span of 6 months, they have two of probably the most boring AEW shows that I've watched. And again, everything on the show wasn't bad. It wasn't, but it wasn't those AEW pay-per-views that I remember. The pay-per-views that were for the men. Okay, the pay-per-views that were for the grown-ups. Not the boys and girls, but the men and women of the IWC. Those pay-per-views. Bangers. Absolute bangers. But yes, now AEW pay-per-view is a little different. As for which one was worse, I would probably say World's End. That was definitely one of the worst pay-per-views they've ever done, if not the... Bro, we get the opening promo to the show, and I swear to you, I literally had to write this in my notes because it made me fucking chuckle. The opening promo to the show, the guy says, that's whoever's doing the voiceover all dramatically goes, "For one night only, the door is open." For one night only? Who the fuck fed him that line? Does whoever this guy is doing the voiceover clearly does not watch AEW on a weekly basis, because I think Tony Khan put the door stopper down. That door stays open so much. I mean, that door is the fucking high school classroom door. When the fucking teacher, right before fifth period starts, fucking kicks over the door stopper and keeps the door open as he's teaching to the class. For one night only. Really? What about Wrestle Dream? This is that WWE type shit, bro. When Survivor Series would open, the one night where Raw and SmackDown superstars face off. Fast forward 2 months later to the Royal Rumble, and you see fucking Bray Wyatt, a SmackDown superstar, going head to head with Braun Strowman, fucking fighting him. What? Where you see Shinsuke Nakamura, a SmackDown superstar, facing off against Roman Reigns and throwing him over the top rope. What? The one night only? There's been many Royal Rumbles where it's every Royal Rumble has had a Raw versus SmackDown interaction. I'm telling you, bro, this is that WWE shit. They're trying to pull fast ones on their fans. I mean, Tony does have a pretty fucking dumb fan base, but, I mean, come on, man. Give me a break. Give me a fucking break. For one night, the door is open. Really? Because the last time I checked, these two companies can't fucking get enough of each other. They're down each other's fucking throats so bad. Good Lord. For one night only. That should have me blue 30 seconds into the programming. So, we get the opening promo. We get the opening promo for, again, for the show. We get the opening promo for the show, and yes, and then obviously we go into the open, and, the opener, well, if you guys do want to hear, Kyle Fletcher defeats Serpentico in 3 minutes. This is the pre-show I'm about to read off for you guys, by the way. The Kings of the Black Throne, Malachi and Brody, defeated Ishii and Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong and Gabe Kidd, with Gato and Matt Taven, and Mike Bennett, and Private Party. In 8 minutes. The only thing I've seen from this match is Ishii dumping Brody King on his head. Christ. Yeah, so they won in 8 minutes. Willow Nightingale and Tam Nakano defeated Chris Statlander and Momo Watanabe. Mariah May defeated Mariah May defeated Saraya in the first round to the Owen Cup. So Mariah May moves on. Thank fucking God. And the Lucha Bros and Mystico with Alex Abrahantes defeated Los Ingobernables de Japón, Yoda Tsuji, Titan, and Hiromu Takahashi. So, in 12 minutes. So, if you guys were interested in the pre-show, that was that. Now, anyways, after the opener to the show, we get MJF versus Hechicero. This one was okay. This one was okay again. This was sort of just something to get MJF, I guess, out there in front of the hometown, his hometown crowd. And they completely abandon the concept of giving him somebody at least interesting in name value to go up against. They could put him against Gabe Kidd. They couldn't have put him against a guy, Matt Riddle. I don't know if he still works with New Japan much, but they could have put him against Matt Riddle, Nick Nemeth, fucking somebody, bro. Hechicero. I mean, the match turned out all right, man. But I mean, it wasn't bad, but it also wasn't anything that jumped off the page. I mean, let alone jumping off the page. It didn't even open the book. It didn't even open the fucking book to even be able to jump off the page. Yeah, the match, I mean, the match was just completely unappealing. The match was completely unappealing. They could have at least put him against a name from Mexico with a little bit of name value, like Mystico or somebody. Hechicero. I mean, I did not care. I did not care. I did not care whatsoever. I did not care whatsoever about this man again. And it's not that they turned out, it's not that the match was, sloppy bad or anything like that, but I mean, at least at the, like last year, MJF was in, I mean, he was in the World Heavyweight title match of Forbidden Door, but they gave him somebody with fucking name value. They gave him Tanahashi. I don't know why he couldn't have got, somebody with a little bit of name value at the very least, bro. Hechicero is sad. It is completely sad that this man was chosen to be MJF's opponent. MJF, during his entrance, he came out with one of his classic robe cape things. I guess like his Burberry robes. And man, I gotta say, it was a little sad. It was a little sad. This is one thing I don't like about the Devil storyline, is it took away the devil mask that, was worn by MJF, because, man, I mean, when he's wearing them robes, it just looks weird without him with the devil mask. Like, that thing was just such a fucking iconic look, and I really don't know why they took it away. I really don't know why I get he wanted to reinvent himself or whatever, but that's the one thing that makes me a little bitter about the Devil story, is the fact that, it's gone. It's gone now. There's no more MJF coming out wearing the devil mask, and it kind of sucks, to be honest, because I do miss the thing. But nonetheless, MJF comes out. He goes to crowd surf, and the AEW fans are too busy slugging fucking hot dogs down their throat, and probably chugging $15 sodas, that they could not crowd surf MJF, and he made it about an inch and a half being crowd surfed before they let him down. So good old AEW fans. But again, yeah. So MJF faces Hechicero. He faces Hechicero here. And the match, like I said, bro, the match was all right. It wasn't anything special. It wasn't anything special by any means. It wasn't anything special by any means. And it was kind of just an average 9-minute match that played into nothing, and it did absolutely nothing for me. And for most likely anybody that has a brain. It did not do that. It did not do anything for anybody watching either. So, yes, MJF hit a Panama Sunrise. Interesting. Very interesting. Speaking of interesting, Adam Cole got hurt last September. He got hurt last September, and early September, and it is now 10 months. 10 months since then. Yikes. Did putting him on AEW television to be with the Undisputed Kingdom set back his recovery that long? Unless he's right there and it was only a 9-month recovery. But also, too, is this going to play into a story with Adam Cole that he used the Panama Sunrise? Because the commentators called it out. I think Taz said that was the Panama Sunrise, but that looked a little better than the Panama Sunrise. That's what Taz said. So I don't know if that's going to play into something. I don't know if that's going to play into when Adam Cole eventually does make his return. Or, yeah, I don't know if that's going to play into something or whatnot, bro. But it definitely is interesting. It definitely is interesting to see if they're going to expand upon that, or if MJF giving him a brainbuster was literally just the blow off to the storyline. Because if it was, Lord, that is some piss poor booking, if that's the case. But yes, he hits the Panama Sunrise and immediately goes into a brainbuster, and he beats Hechicero in the open to AEW Forbidden Door. Again, again, it was solid work. It was solid work from either guy, man. Again, it wasn't bad by any means, but man, I mean, was this something that just never got off the ground for me, man. It never got off the ground. I fully expected them to give him some random guy at New Japan or at Forbidden Door. I fully expected them to give him some random guy, and I wasn't even mad that it was Hechicero, because I knew he was going to get somebody random, because MJF told us he was going to get some rando from New Japan or CMLL. That's exactly who he got, but just because, you know, I seen it coming didn't make me any more interested in the match. And it like I said, it just was nothing. It was like MJF said, bro, it was about as random as you can get. So I mean, this was a easy night at the office for MJF. Yeah, so that was the open to, I keep going to say Dynasty. I don't know why. That was the open to Forbidden Door. And yeah, again, there was nothing. There was nothing. It was literally just a match. MJF hit the brainbuster, pinned him, got his payday, and walked out. So that was that. I believe this is MJF's first time back in Long Island since he was crossed by his best friend. So the next match, a trios match. A trios match here on Forbidden Door. You had AEW and New Japan DLC versus AEW and New Japan. Well, in the opener to the, or not the opener, oh God, one match fucking talking about the show and I'm already yawning. Christ. One match into the vignette, the promo video before the match starts. The promo package consisted of the Elite, videos of the Elite in New Japan with Kenny Omega, and they fucking blurred his face out. Absolutely hilarious. You love to see it. Pretty good video package for the match. There was honestly pretty good video packages all across the night. If you ask me, man, I did enjoy the video packages for pretty much everything. Everything pretty much had a solid video package, so I can appreciate that. Most of the video package were better. It was eclipses anything that the build itself did anyways. So that, again, like I said, I can really appreciate. But bro, they were referring to Hiroshi Tanahashi as the Scissor Ace. So much so, nobody, and I mean nobody, would shut the fuck up calling this man the Scissor Ace throughout the whole entire night. The whole entire night, they would not shut up calling him the Scissor, or the whole entire match, rather. They would not shut up calling him the Scissor Ace. Other than that, Okada was an absolute gem. He was an absolute gem in this match. He was, bro. This man gets in the ring with Tanahashi, does a face-off, the crowd's chanting, holy shit, and they're about to lock up, or they're about to, start hitting each other or whatever, and Okada just tags out of the match, and he's just staring off into the crowd with the most pissed-off look on his face. Gotta love Okada, bro. This man is a national treasure, is Kazuchika Okada. This is absolutely hilarious. And then, for half of the match, Nick Jackson is wearing Max Caster's headphones, and they're chanting shit at the Elite all night, and Nick's just yelling through the headphones, I can't hear you. There was a spot in the match where Nick, when he first put the headphones on, speaking of a national treasure, bro, Nick Jackson, oh my god, absolutely one of the funniest fucking human beings alive. Seriously. As Nick is in the ring wearing the headphones, Okada's fucking sitting there like this, dancing, doing the record scratch, bro. This, again, he is a gem. He is a fucking gem. That man Okada, truly a national treasure. As things started to pick up in the match, or towards the end of the match, rather, everybody was trading moves, which eventually led to Tanahashi getting the Rainmaker from Kazuchika Okada. He took a Rainmaker from Okada, and Tanahashi was pinned. And he lost from a Rainmaker to Okada, man. And yeah, I mean, again, bro, this is one of those things, man, that I was talking about when I said, a lot of this stuff just doesn't really play in to each other. And this was, this is definitely one of those things. This was definitely one of those things, man. I mean, you got the Elite here. They're feuding with the Acclaimed, and we have Tanahashi take the pin, and you have the Elite go over, first of all, and which, I'm not saying they should have lost or anything, because, I mean, don't even get me started on just the amount of crazy work that Tony Khan put into ruining their story and the story that they had going on, because for the fucking love of God, man, I mean, he butchered, and I mean butchered, the story that the Elite had going on with the hostile takeover of AEW Dynamite, man, or of AEW in general. I mean, he seriously butchered the fuck out of it. So that's a whole nother can of worms. But Tanahashi gets pinned by a Rainmaker, and yeah, that was that, bro. That was that. So yeah, I don't know where we go from here. I know the Acclaimed are due for a tag title shot, being that they won the Eliminator. They won the Eliminator match, so there's that. But yeah, man, other than that, dude, it did not play into much, bro. It did not play into much. And then after the match, Okada was not finished, man. He picked up Hiroshi Tanahashi, and and went to attack him again. And Billy Gunn, why he wasn't out there the whole entire time, I have no idea. Billy Gunn comes running out there. The Elite retreat off into the crowd, or not into the crowd, off onto the ramp, I mean. And yeah, that was that. He chases off the Elite as Taz says, "That's daddy ass." But in Japan, they call him Big Daddy Momo. Big Daddy Momo. Let me tell you, this was a rough, and I mean fucking rough night for commentary. Dude, oh my god. It was bad. I don't think I've ever heard this much outlandish shit by a commentary team in all my time of watching wrestling. Nobody sounds like they're taking their job seriously. Nobody sounds like they're taking what they're doing seriously whatsoever. And the one guy that's supposed to be the anchor of the announce team, is Excalibur. And he half the time sounds like he does not know a fucking lick of anything. Big Daddy Momo. That was that. For the love of God. That was that. Yes, the Elite pick up the victory, and I guess it's not so bad because, like I said, the Acclaim still do get their tag title shot, but this was basically them bringing Tanahashi in just to take the pin, and that was going to be it. So, yeah. The next match was the Open to the the men's Owen. Bryan Danielson versus Shingo Takagi. This one, I know Danielson likes to wrestle. I know he likes to wrestle. I know that's his passion. I know, he loves the competitive nature of, getting hit and the adrenaline and all that stuff. This one, although it was a good match, it was a very good match. Why the fuck did this go 20 minutes on this card? 20 minutes for a guy that has vowed to win the tournament, and also for a guy who said before the show that, not before the show, but part of the video package to the match, he said Shingo is going to get the guy. Shingo is not going to get the guy who loves to compete. He's going to get the guy that wants to kick everybody's fucking head in. And he proceeds to take 20 minutes to beat Shingo Takagi. A little wild. I think this match could have been shaved down anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes. I think would have been fine. I thought it went a little too long. And again, personally, for a guy who's favorited to win the tournament, he should at least get by with like a 13, 15-minute match in the first round. I mean, come on. I thought that was a little much. For a first round. But the other thing Danielson recently made some comments about how he doesn't want to win the world title. He thinks that, he doesn't need the world title at this stage of his, career or whatever. Bro, why would you say that in the middle of a storyline where you are fighting for your moment? You are fighting for your last world championship because although it may not be the last year of your career, the sun is setting on your career. And you decide to jeopardize the greatness of that with saying you don't want to win the world title? Here's my answer for Bryan Danielson. Stop being fucking selfless. Please. You're going to win the world champ. If I'm Tony Khan, I'm telling him, dude, I really don't give a shit what you want here. I'm giving you the world title. We're going to tell this story. It's going to be one of the greatest fucking stories told in company history. And you're going to main event the biggest show of the year because you fucking deserve it. And you're one of the greatest of all time. And you're going to win the world championship. And I do not care what you want and how selfless you are. Bryan, please. It's okay. Please. Just fucking win the world title. We all want to see it. If you don't want to see Bryan Danielson add the AEW World Championship to his resume, I don't know what's wrong with you. I wanted him to win it back after Punk vacated it. They gave it back to Moxley. Don't know why. I get he's that guy that wanted to shoulder the company, and he's goated for that. It was a goated year for him. But, Bryan, would you fucking knock it off with the selflessness? Please. You gotta reason with me here. I don't know why he would say that. I don't know why he would jeopardize, the art of, the story. Maybe not jeopardize it, but, kind of devalue it a little bit. You're off in interviews saying you don't really care to win the title. You're on TV saying you want to win the title because it might be your last shot. It doesn't coincide with each other. I don't get it. Especially this is coming from somebody who doesn't want to see a wild card, especially if the wild card is Adam Page. I don't really want to see Hangman and Swerve. I'm sorry, I don't. I'm sure it'll be great. I would rather go with Danielson. I would. I don't understand what would be the point of Danielson running all the way to the finals, because we know he's going to get there, at least I hope. What would really be the point of Danielson going all the way to the finals of the tournament just to lose? And then where do we go from there? I don't get it. I don't get it. So that was I don't know. That was just my gripes, I guess, with Danielson's comments, and again him taking 20 minutes in the first round against Shingo Takagi. Again, Bryan, I know you love to perform, and I know you love it, and that's all well and dandy, but bro, 20 minutes in the first round against Shingo Takagi, I think is a little much. However, they had a very cool tagline for this match. The American Dragon versus the Rampage Dragon. Pretty hard. I did not know that Shingo's nickname was the Rampage Dragon. Yeah, and see, the thing with Hangman and Swerve is I just don't want AEW to overdo it with their feud. I thought they had a great feud. I thought they had a great story. I personally don't really think it needs to be dragged all the way out to Wembley. But then again, this is coming from somebody who wants to see Danielson win the fucking world championship. So what they could do is have Page drop it to Danielson as a callback to their old stuff. Their old stuff being that, Page beat him twice in the span of Well, I know they went the hour draw, and then I think they wrestled another half an hour a couple weeks later on a different Dynamite show. But no, I mean, I could watch Hangman and Swerve all day as well, but I also just didn't like the way they went character-wise with both of them. I mean, I still talk about Swerve being a babyface to this day, and Hangman being a heel to this day. How stupid of a change that was. So it's nothing necessarily against them, but it's just a matter of, I want to see Danielson win the world title, and you know, I don't really think we need to revisit Hangman and Swerve so soon, and I think we will for sure, which does scare me for Danielson's chances, but we'll just have to wait and see how this whole tournament plays out till then. But yes, Danielson ends up winning with a disarmer almost, instead of putting his knees on the ground and wrenching the arm back. He put his knees on Shingo's back and wrenched it back, so it almost looked like a more deadly version of the disarmer, Becky Lynch's disarmer. So, but yes, Danielson did win, obviously, via submission. It was a verbal tap, they said, from Takagi, because his hands weren't free. Even though his left hand, you could see his hand moving around, trying to crawl. Whatever, obviously, not the worst thing on the planet, and sometimes I do like a verbal tap. I can rock with that. But yes, Danielson beat Shingo Takagi in the open to in the opening round to the Owen. He beat him in the opening round to the Owen, and like I said, match was great. I did like the match. Obviously, very strike heavy, very a lot of technical. With Danielson being in there and also being in there with somebody from Japan, but yeah, very hard hitting match, very good. It was a very good match. However, again, the only thing I didn't like was this one going 20 minutes. I thought, like I said, for somebody who, you know, hyped this up for, you know, Shingo's gonna get the version of me that's just there to kick people's fucking heads in. And he drags Danielson all the way out to 20 minutes. At least give Pac and Danielson the 20-minute match. I mean, Jesus. At the very least, which I think is coming up this Wednesday. So that should be exciting. So yeah, that was that. The women's world title match. Let me tell you, bro. Both of the women's matches here on tonight's show, incredible stuff. Very, 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 very good stuff here with the women here on tonight's show. Obviously, starting off with the first women's match that was on the card, or on the main card. Not the IWGP, the Stardom, the Artists of Stardom champion, or at least 1/3 of them, Mina Shirakawa versus the AEW women's champ, Toni Storm. Toni Storm did a Lady Liberty entrance. Very cool. Brought me back to the days of when The Dream did his at NXT TakeOver New York. Oh, man. Those days, bro. Where did all the time go? Man. Crazy. But Toni Storm did the Lady Liberty entrance, and that was very, very cool. I like that. I like some type of cinematic, visually pleasing entrance. Very, very cool there. What wasn't cool was that the commentators could not say the name Mina. There were multiple occasions in this match. They called her Maria. They called her Mira. Bro. Oh my God. How do you fuck up the name Mina? Even worse, how do you mispronounce Mina for Maria? What? And Mira. I mean, at least Mira sounds a little closer. I could see how that might be an accident. But Maria? Okay. Mariah May was standing in the middle of the ring as the match started, and she's standing in the middle of the ring, and she's looking at both of them, and she doesn't know which one to choose. She doesn't know which one to choose, as she gets flustered, she gets stressed out, and she walks out of the ring. She walks out of the ring, and she's standing over by the announcer table. She's standing by the announcer table in complete distress. She's standing there in complete distress. The whole match. Every time they would film Mariah's face, she was just very sad, I guess. And like she said on Wednesday, this match was going to be very hard for her. And Mina Shirakawa, or as Taz likes to call her, Maria Shirakawa, or Mira Shirakawa. She looked great. I loved her strikes. She did a lot of just very New Japan strong style type strikes throughout the whole match, and I really liked her style, and I really liked how it went with Toni Storm's style. This was one of two matches that I was excited for, and they both delivered huge. Man. I thought they were tremendous. Man, and yeah, they put on a very, very, very good match. My only nitpick with this one is they were building up Mina to be Tony's the biggest threat, right, up until this point at Toni Storm's title. And it wasn't really, though. It wasn't. I mean, to say that this was Toni Storm's, worst challenge yet, or most challenging challenger yet, I think is a little. The match didn't really go too long. She kind of. Again, we talked about how long that Danielson match went for being a first-round match. I would have liked if they shaved a little bit off of there and put it onto this one to actually build up to, or actually pay off Mina being Tony's most, legit challenger up until this point. You know what I mean? But the match went 11 minutes, and again, Tony, not saying that, Mina didn't get any offense, but she did get a lot of offense, but overall, man, it wasn't really the challenge that AEW has been playing up for the past month or however long they've been building this. It wasn't really too much of, again, like the biggest challenge that Tony has had to go through since winning the championship. It wasn't really nothing like that, man. So she ended up hitting her with a Storm Zero and put her away, rather in not convincing fashion, but in pretty basic. Not really. It wasn't the worst day at the office, if I will say. It might have been. It might have been mildly busy. It might have been a mildly busy day at the office, but nothing crazy at all. So that was that. Like I said, I would have liked for Tony to have a little more struggle in this match. But other than that, man, Mina Shirakawa looked great. And if AEW would actually plan to use her, I would be looking into when her Stardom stuff is up ASAP if I was AEW. And if I was WWE as well, tonight just got Mina Shirakawa on my radar because, yeah, she looked fantastic, man. I thought she looked fantastic. After the match, Mariah, very stressed out, gets in the ring, and she gets Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa to hug it out. She gets them to hug. They get done hugging. And the look on Tony's face, bro. Hold on, Logan. Do not comment on this segment, okay? We already know you're in hot water. You cannot comment on this segment. But the look on Toni Storm's face as Mariah grabbed the back of both of their heads and slowly is bringing all three of their heads close together. Tony's eyes are just fucking open, big as shit, like an owl. And they all triple kiss. And the cherry on top of the sundae here was fucking Nigel is standing up, giving them a standing ovation and crying, asking who is cutting the onions. Nigel is absolutely hilarious. We did not get a turn. I fully expected Mariah to be a little more stressed. Maybe she turned, maybe Toni turned, maybe Mina hit Toni, something to add a little more depth in the story, something to lead us a little bit further down the rabbit hole in this story. Meanwhile, all we got was a hug and a triple kiss in what seems to be a three-way lesbian angle, I guess. Okay, whatever floats Tony's boat, I guess. That is Tony Khan. Yeah, we got no sort of anything. We actually got a happy ending between all three of these gals, and I fully expected them to use Mina Shirakawa to get Mariah May out of the spell of Toni Storm, and to get her to snap out of it and realize, the star that she can become. I fully expected them to do that, and they didn't. So I really hope Mina doesn't go away, because if Mina goes away, I mean, you missed a huge opportunity in Mina playing a huge role in this storyline. I mean, you really did. You really did, man. But yeah, bro. So that is that is one thing that's a little concerning to me. But then it got me thinking. Is Tony Conboy gonna have Mariah face Toni without even turning on her, and just have Mariah win the tournament to get her to Toni Storm, and then they're just gonna do like a friendly exhibition or something? One thing that does really scare me with Tony being with Tony Khan and the way he does these sort of turns and whatnot. So that is one thing that scares me. I hope they actually build this up and actually give Mariah like a proper turn, or give Toni Storm a proper turn to lead to their match. I would hate to see them just go into this as friends, as teacher versus student. I'm really gonna need to see some sort of turn or something. But yeah, like I said, the match itself, very good. I did enjoy the match. This was one of the only things going into the show that I actually was excited for. And as for the match, like I said, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I just wish there would have been a little more struggle on Toni Storm's end, being that Mina has been built up as the biggest threat up until this point to Toni's championship. So, yeah. Orange Cassidy versus Zack Sabre Jr. OC came out to Where Is My Mind. I don't know if they've been having him come out to Where Is My Mind ever since Trent turned on him. If that's the case, that's a really cool piece to the story. That's a really cool piece to the story, and I really like that. He's, like I said, ever since they turned on him, that he's been coming out to it because he's, almost, he's a little lost without his best friend. So I like just the subtle theme song change. If there is that reasoning behind it, there could always be the case that Tony just gave it to him because he just missed the song as his theme song, or Orange missed the song as his theme song. But obviously, you guys know, building up to this match, I was not very excited for it. In the slightest. However, it honestly, in all honesty, man, wasn't the worst thing on the planet. It was pretty decent. Orange Cassidy kind of got in his technical bag a little bit. He kind of pulled out some technical moves, and the only thing that bugs me a little is a guy like Sabre. A guy like Sabre should be going up against bigger names in AEW. And the reason I'm saying that is because nowadays, Sabre's like the only younger big name that New Japan has. The only one. He's literally the only one at this point. And I'm sure there's a couple maybe that I'm forgetting. But man, Orange was getting a little bit into his technical bag. He was showing off a little bit of his technical moves here and there. I liked it. Very hard hitting. Very hard hitting from Zack Sabre Jr., bro. I mean, did you guys see the kicks and the slaps that he was putting on Orange Cassidy? Brutal. Brutal stuff, bro. Brutal stuff. It looked fantastic. It looked fantastic. The match went 16 minutes. And like I said, it was decent. I'm not going to lie. With Orange Cassidy, I expected a lot worse. I did. I expected a lot worse. This actually wasn't horrible for what it was. And you guys know I'm not the biggest Orange Cassidy guy, and it's not necessarily because it's not because of his in-ring work at all. I think it's the overexposure of Orange Cassidy that does it for me. But otherwise, man, I thought he did really good. And I thought both of these guys did really good. Well, Sabre always does good. I always enjoy watching Zack Sabre's work. I just think his just the technical aspect behind or just how his technicality, I don't know what word I'm looking for, but he's a very good technical wrestler, and it's very beautiful to watch. It really is. But when Sabre wants to get into his striking bag, he absolutely has it. Like I said, bro, his kicks are brutal. And tonight his slaps were, I mean, he was slapping the shit out of Orange Cassidy, man. He was, man. And it looked great. But these two started getting to a little bit of a submission off, as before you know it, Orange Cassidy Dude, I don't know what. This is what I'm talking about with Zack Sabre. I don't know what. I don't even know if that is a submission hold. When I tell you, he had this man wrapped up, twisted like a pretzel. I've never seen anybody twisted up like that ever during his submission hold, bro. I don't know what that's called. I don't even know if it has a move. I don't even know if that's a move. Whatever it was, bro, twisted this man inside and out. Bro, it was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome, man. Very good stuff. Very, very good stuff there. And yeah, like I said, dude, twisted Orange Cassidy up like a pretzel and started wrenching on his arms as Orange's like legs were twisted behind him. Sabre had his arms, but Sabre also had his legs wrapped around like his head and his neck. Literally twisted that man like a pretzel and got him to tap out in, like I said, 16 minutes, man. It was a pretty good match. I'm not going to lie, man. I really did it. I actually really enjoyed this one. I really enjoyed this one for what it was, and it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. For sure. But the next match, well, Jericho did end up getting a match. He did end up getting a match, ladies and gentlemen. Instead of having Suzuki on his team, it was Joe, Hook, and Shibata versus Jericho, Big Bill, and Jeff Cobb. Wow. What a just banger of all bangers on this one. Man. Dude. It fucking disgusts me. It disgusts me how they have Big Bill looking out there, bro. Dude, well, he's back in his tights, so that gave me some Enzo and Cass memories. So that gave me fucking something to smile about. What the fuck is that look they have him doing? What is that? Oh man, yeah. This is just. This has got to. This has got to stop, man. This has got to. This has got to go off of television, man. I mean, and fast. This has got to fucking go, man. Jesus, this is horrible. Jericho gets on the mic before the match starts, and he says, "Hi guys, hey." He says, "I know you guys don't really want me to retire because I'm the hometown guy. I'm the hometown hero. I'm from here. Thanks, guys. Bye." As fucking Taz says, "Oh yeah, Jericho is from here. He's from Manhasset." Okay, first of all, Oh, Lord. First of all, Jericho is from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Second of all, we're in fucking Long Island. And third, what the fuck is Manhasset? I know Manhattan. Manhasset. He's from around here. He's from Manhasset. See what I mean when I say these people don't know shit? At least they sound like they don't know shit. They come off like it. He's from Manhasset. The hometown hero. Y'all aren't in Manhattan. Y'all aren't in Manhattan. You're in Long Island. And he's from Winnipeg. This match was a load of shit. Of a trio's, if you could even call it that, an embarrassing encounter was this match. I like the pairing of Hook and Joe, and I mean Shibata's there. Mainly I like the pairing of Hook and Joe. Dude, they gotta come up with some better double team offense than with what they had. I mean, pushing the guy in the corner and all taking turns running at him and clotheslining him in the corner. I mean, if that isn't the most generic 2K default tag team move in the fucking moveset, I don't know what is. See, I remember when me and Sir K would play 2K, we would put each guy in the same corner of the ring. We would put each guy in, or not the same corner, but not diagonal, but, you know, across from each other. So we would put one guy in the right corner, in the far right corner, and one guy in the far left corner. And we would fucking do, we had the Bryan Danielson drop kick animation where you would run at him, hit the drop kick, your character would get up, run to the corner, and run back and drop kick him again. But when we did it, we crossed, we made an X, we crossed each other. Shit was a banger. This was some pretty weak, and again, this is coming from somebody who actually really loves this group. I do. I like the pairing of Hook and Joe a lot. But man, the double team offense game, little weak. They got to work on that, I may say. Hook, they all have in sleeper holds on, the opposing guy. Shibata has Big Bill. Hook has Jericho, and Joe has Jeff Cobb. Jericho, counters it and gets Hook off his back. Hook gives Chris Jericho a Judas effect to pick up the victory. I hope this is it. I do not want to see Hook, Joe, and Shibata around the learning tree anymore. I am done with the learning tree. It is, man, I mean, for somebody who's done a very good job at having his finger on the pulse, that is Chris Jericho, he's done a really fucking horrible job with reading the room with this learning tree stuff. Horrible. This is atrocious stuff. Atrocious stuff. It really is, man. I cannot stress enough how bad this learning tree stuff is. It is very, 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 very bad. Hook hits the Judas effect to Chris Jericho, picks up the victory. That was that. And the next match the TNT Championship ladder match. Dante Martin versus Mark Briscoe versus Konosuke Takeshita versus Jack Perry versus Lio Rush versus El Phantasmo. Phantasmo comes out, and the commentators play up to how he doesn't have any more friends left. I wonder where his friends are now. Because if my memory serves me correctly, I think his buddies were a bunch of Tongans. I think his buddies might have just taken out the wise man. And I think his other buddy, that he was the Gorillas of Destiny with, I use that term very loosely, because they are not G.O.D. G.O.D. is Tama Tonga and Tongaloa, not Hikaleo and El Phantasmo. Regardless, I do like El Phantasmo, and I thought that was pretty funny that the commentators played up to him being, all his friends being gone. And one of his friends isn't even in the company yet, but he's on his way. That is Mr. Hikaleo, or Talatonga. But yeah, man. Thought that was kind of funny. Jack Perry came out with his goat mask, like the EVPs do, from the Cody Vader. Jack Perry, in the beginning of the match, gets cornered. He gets cornered by everybody in the match. He then runs out of the ring. They both meet him on the outside, or everybody meets him on the outside. He slides in the ring to eat a nasty, nasty forearm by Konosuke Takeshita. God, what a fall from grace. And you know, the people actually really popped. Like, really fucking popped. As Takeshita was climbing the ladder to retrieve the TNT Championship. The people were actually going nuts. I think a lot of people wouldn't have minded seeing Takeshita as the TNT Champion. However, as you can see in the title to this video, Jack Perry shocks no one. Nobody is shocked by Jack Perry winning the TNT Championship. AEW, I don't know if they ran out of budget. I don't know if Tony Khan recently looked at everything he paid to put Double or Nothing together. I don't know what he looked at. This man decided to go out there and, aside from the black ladders that they use, he decided to go out there and purchase real ladders. Fucking Home Depot Menards ladders that are that shiny silver, and you can only climb up through one side of them. So let me ask you something, Tony. What happens if somebody were to set one of those ladders up and go to climb? Does the other person just not get to fucking climb up on the other side because it's not a wrestling ladder? It's just a basic fucking carpenter's ladder? Takeshita, there's a spot in the match, man, where Takeshita set up a ladder, but he set it up standing upwards, laying down, but, standing on its side, basically. He goes to give Dante Martin a brainbuster and completely brainbusters himself. He dropped Dante Martin down, and Dante Martin hardly hit the ladder as the whole back of Takeshita's head just went crashing on the fucking ladder. Lio Rush is doing his spot with Mark Briscoe, has one of these Menards ladders around his head, and he's spinning around with it at full speed. Lio Rush is running. Mark takes the ladder off, and he's going to hit Lio with it. And Leo's doing the thing where he hits the ropes, but then he'll stop and go the other direction and hit that rope, and then he'll stop and go the other direction and hit a different rope. Mark just throws the ladder right at him, bro. It was a Pretty good spot, looked pretty good visually. Mark Briscoe would then get Takeshita on the outside as he would lay him on a table that was wedged up against the barricade. He would put a ladder on top of him. And get in the ring, run up on a chair, and suicide dive over the top rope right onto a lying Takeshita that had a ladder on top of him. So Mark Briscoe essentially landed right on top of a ladder and crashed Takeshita through the table. It's another great spot in the match. Jack Perry and El Phantasmo are up on the ladder, and Excalibur says, "Oh my God, the first to touch the title wins." Really? That's fucking news to me. And I've been watching wrestling for almost 20 fucking years. I've been watching this shit for about 17 years of my life. The first to touch the title wins. Does anybody know anything? I mean, man, I get making blunders on commentary, but when this shit is this consistent, you gotta do something about this, man. You gotta do fucking something. I mean, this commentary is fucking rough. The first to touch the title wins. And 2 seconds after he says that, Phantasmo smacks the belt. He goes to reach for the belt and, obviously doesn't get a hold of it. He just kind of smacks it. 2 seconds after he said that. I'm just sitting there shaking my head thinking, what the fuck, man? So, man. I don't know, bro. This commentary, dude. This commentary tonight was on a fucking rampage, dude. They really were. Yeah, so Excalibur, decides to grace us with his expertise here on this matter. The first to touch the title wins. Okay. Jack Perry gets knocked off the ladder. Dante Martin hops up from the ground to probably about 3 rungs up on the ladder. So pretty impressive. He hops up and he and Phantasmo get knocked off the ladder by Jack Perry as Dante is on the outside screaming and holding his leg. Dude, if you guys would have seen my reaction, it would have fed families. Bro, when I looked over and just seen this fucking dude laying there, I threw my hands up in the air because I thought he was legitimately injured when he was because he was holding his leg. I thought this man was legitimately injured. I said to myself, "Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me here, bro." I'd say, "You got to be kidding me, dude. There's no fucking way. There's absolutely no way this man, of all people, just got hurt in this match." Thankfully, they actually played into it for the story of the match, at least I hope, up until this point. The commentators kept bringing up how Dante may have tweaked something in his surgically repaired leg. I certainly the fuck hope so, because if he got hurt again, please never put this man in any sort of ladder situation ever. Meanwhile, I don't even know why he was in this ladder match, because Top Flight should be a contending tag team in the dead AEW tag team division. They should be. Meanwhile, I don't even know where Darius is. Is he hurt? Because if he's hurt again, then fucking by God. But I don't know. So Takeshita's holding his leg. Dante Martin's holding his leg, rather. Mark Briscoe sets up a ladder on the ring apron. Yes, the apron. I almost about had a heart attack watching this man climb this ladder that was on the ring apron. Thankfully, as he was climbing up, he told the ref to hold it for him. So that made me feel a little better in that he wasn't going to fucking fall. But Mark Briscoe jumps off the ladder. He jumps off the ladder that was placed on the ring apron onto Jack Perry on a table. And he pulls the old Adam Copeland. Instead of landing 10 toes down, he lands on his knees. It's almost like that video of Seth Rollins on the Indies where he climbs the fucking ductwork, or the ductworking on this, he climbs the little ventilation system that is, on the wall in the elementary school gym or wherever the hell he was, and he jumps down and lands on his knees and the table doesn't break. It was the exact same thing. Mark lands on his fucking knees, and as if this could not get any worse, the table does not break. So Mark Briscoe not only probably is feeling, his knees probably feel like shit right now. Not only that, he is probably feeling it in his jaw and his mouth, because this man just smacked the table with his, with his chest and upper body area as his knees hit the ground, and it didn't even fucking break. Oh my lord. I would assume breakaway tables are cheaper than regular intact tables. I would think. I don't know why this is a common occurrence in AEW of these tables not breaking, but it did not break. And good lord, that looked like it fucking hurt. Takeshita hits a blue thunder bomb to Phantasmo through two tables on the outside. Jack Perry, Takeshita gets in the ring, and Takeshita gets in the ring. Jack Perry gets back into the ring Mark Briscoe was already in the ring as time went on. Mark Briscoe started to crawl in the ring, and he started to make his way towards the championship as Jack Perry comes back in, and he lawn darts the ladder at Mark Briscoe's head, takes him out, climbs the ladder, and retrieves the TNT championship. Thought everybody in the room. Again, as you can tell by the title, Jack Perry shocks no one. This did not come as a shock at all. We obviously knew Jack Perry was winning the championship. The Elite is going to have all the gold. Well, they have all the gold now. If Hangman's with the Elite, all they need is for him to win the world title next. But man, the ladder match itself was a very enjoyable match. Looking at it now, I can't believe it only went 17 minutes, because it felt a lot longer than that with all they did, because they definitely maximized their minutes for sure. They definitely maximized their minutes, and the ladder match turned out very great. But like I said, man, Jack Perry wins. He was obviously everybody knew going into this that Jack Perry was going to win. But let the Elite tell it They need Jack Perry to win so they can have all the power. As if they did not win Anarchy in the fucking arena. So they just win Anarchy in the arena and Tony Khan takes control back. What was the fucking point of them winning Anarchy in the arena? I don't understand. I do not fucking understand. Jack Perry wins. He was definitely the right winner. There was a point in the match where Takeshita climbed. Takeshita started to climb, and the fans actually started to go pretty nuts. Like the people actually genuinely wanted to see this man Takeshita win the TNT Championship. Which, hey, I mean, I don't know if there's anybody that would be mad at that. In all honesty, being that the way they booked this man, I think everybody feels pretty sorry for him at this point. So yeah, that was that. The next match, Mercedes Moné versus Stephanie Vacker for title, the New Japan Strong Women's Championship for the TBS Championship. Vacker hit Mercedes with a headbutt before the match started. And surprisingly, the crowd turned on Mercedes big time in this match. I did not expect this. Man. And they were chanting, fuck the Celtics, because Mercedes is from Boston. And I think Taz mentioned there was a Celtics fan in the crowd that all the New Yorkers were heckling. And anytime Mercedes would get offense, they would boo. Anytime Stephanie Vacker would get offense, they would cheer. Pretty crazy. I definitely didn't expect that to happen. And I seen a lot of people saying this, dude, and it almost rings a little true. Stephanie Vacker, you could say, and it would be valid, that she outshined Mercedes Moné in this performance here. I mean, they both wrestled a very good match, but if you were going to pinpoint a standout here, you're looking at Stephanie Vacker, bro. She looked amazing. This was my first time watching her work, and it was very fucking good, man. She is very, very, very good. And yeah, again, dare I say, bro, she did outshine Mercedes Moné. Crazy. And like I said, man, I did not expect her to get the sort of heel reactions that she was getting here on Forbidden Door. I really did not expect that, man. But she got him, and it really played to Stephanie Vacker, man, because she was playing babyface whilst putting on the performance of a fucking lifetime. Yeah, she did fantastic, man. She did great. I thought she did phenomenal, and I thought, like I said, man, dare I say, she outshined Mercedes Moné here. I can't lie to you, man. I can't lie. Not that Mercedes wrestled a bad match, but again, if you're looking at a standout of this match, I was very impressed with Stephanie Vacker. She is very, very good, and like I said about Mina Shirakawa, but if I'm AEW and I'm planning to use her, and WWE as well, if I'm them, I'm easily looking into these two women because they had very good performances tonight, and the women's wrestling tonight was on par. I mean, it really was. It was very, very, very on par. It was very on par, man. It really was. But yeah. So yes, Vacker looked fantastic, man. But this match ended with a Money Maker, and as soon as she hit the ground, Mercedes turned her around into the bank statement, the crossface. I would actually really like for this to be her signature and finisher combo, because the way she so smoothly transitioned into the moves looked great. It looked great. So Mercedes ends up winning, and she ends up becoming the New Japan Strong and the TBS, well, keeping the TBS title whilst becoming the New Japan Strong Women's Champion, man. So yeah, that was that, and Mercedes is celebrating, and before you know it, you hear the theme song over the PA of none other than the returning Britt Baker. Parker Curie, my man, how's it going, bro? Thank you for joining us. Well, thank you for joining me. How's it going, my man? Thank you again for joining. But yes, the theme song of Britt Baker plays throughout the arena, man, as the people are going nuts, man. It was awesome. It was awesome to see Britt Baker back in AEW. It was very awesome to see that. Very, very awesome to see Britt in AEW. As commentary said it, man, this was one of the only good lines of the night. Will we see CEO versus DMD? Bro, put them on mics. I swear to God, you need to put them on mics. It's very nice to see Britt Baker back. It's very nice to see her back, and yeah, it's very nice to see them back, and it's nice to see the certain women across AEW doing good stuff, man. You got Mercedes as one champ, you got Tony as the other. You got Willow doing her thing, Chris Statlander doing her thing. Now you got Britt Baker back in the fold. There's no excuses. There's no excuses nowadays. I think that's been very abundantly clear with the fan base for a very long time, and it's definitely true, man. There needs to be no more excuses with this women's division. They have all the tools. All they got to do is put the tools to work, and things should take off for the division for sure, if booked accordingly. Which obviously that's the more frustrating part in all of this. But yeah, man. But yeah, so Stephanie looked great, man. Monet picks up the victory, and Britt Baker comes out after the match, stands on the ramp, and does a little ramp stare down as Mercedes was holding both of her titles up. Does a little ramp stare down with Mercedes Moné, and then she walks away, man. So after the Stephanie Vacker and Mercedes Moné match, which again, very, very good match from the two women, New Japan announced that there will be Wrestle Kingdom on January the 4th, I believe, of 2025. But on January 5th, they will be holding Wrestle Dynasty the very next day. So it's basically a 2-night Wrestle Kingdom, damn near. And as you can see the CMLL logo, you could see the AEW logo, you could see the New Japan logo, you could see the ROH logo, you could see the Stardom logo, in this logo. All we needed was 2 more logos, and this announcement would have set the fucking world on fire. All we needed was an NXT logo and a WWE logo, or just a WWE logo. It doesn't even really fucking matter. All we needed was the WWE logo, and this would have absolutely been destination television for January the 5th. Oh my God, that would have been nuts. But I'm assuming because AEW and their close relationship with New Japan, no sort of partnership with WWE would be going down right now. WWE worked with more of the other lower tier promotions in Japan. They work with Noah and All Japan, so understandable. But man, could you imagine? But no, it should be interesting, and I hope they. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna get from ROH, to be 100% transparent with you guys, but I don't really know what they're cooking up over there, or at least I don't know what they're cooking up that anybody's gonna give an iota of a fuck about. But nonetheless, we're getting Wrestle Dynasty, so I hope they turn out a good show, man. I hope they turn out a good show, and I wonder if they're gonna basically make Wrestle Kingdom a New Japan strict show, where it's only New Japan talent, and if they're going to use Wrestle Dynasty to be the show where they sprinkle the AEW talent in. So I wonder how they're going to do it. But yeah, man, which could be smart from New Japan's case, because if you want to save Wrestle Kingdom for just all New Japan people, I wouldn't be mad at them, because they seriously have talent building that they need to do, because Lord, they need more younger top guys. The next match for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, Tetsuya Naito versus Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley and Naito have had a feud that has been going on, apparently, and we didn't hear about it once on AEW television. We did not hear about we didn't even see Naito. I think, we seen him this past Wednesday on Dynamite, I think. But other than that, this whole Forbidden Door build, we have not seen him once. And apparently, judging off the video package, they have had a whole ass feud going on in the world of New Japan. What are we doing? Match was physical, as obvious. However, I do gotta say, this match was pretty boring. I was not really into this at all. It was kind of just there. It was a little bit of a snooze, bro. I can't lie to you, man. This match really didn't do it for me. Nothing against either of these guys, because I obviously love Jon Moxley, and Tetsuya Naito is one of the only guys that I'm interested in for Forbidden Door season around nowadays. He's one of the only names. I'm not sure how old he is. Let me see. He's 42, so getting up there. But he is one of the only guys that interests me in the New Japan Forbidden Door season. Anyway, so it was quite disappointing that I found this match pretty boring, because again, I like seeing Naito. He's one of my guys. He's one of the guys I depend on to be doing something good when Forbidden Door season comes around. And this year, I thought they put something very good together. I liked the announcement of Moxley and Naito. However, the match just did not really cut it. It didn't, man. It didn't really cut it, and it was rather boring. Naito hit the Despedo, I think it's called. It's the the cutter where he jumps up and does a backflip and flips back. I'm not really sure what exactly the actual name for the move is called, but I believe Naito's version is called the Despedo. Naito hits Jon Moxley with his finish and beats Jon Moxley. Wow. Another guy to beat Jon Moxley in AEW, man. We don't see a lot of this. We do not see a lot of this, but when we do, it is quite interesting, because he's on a short list of guys who have actually beat Jon Moxley. And he did it. I did predict this on Friday, because I figured New Japan wanted at least somebody to win, so one of their guys to win something. And being that an AEW guy has held their World Championship for a couple months now, I figured they would want to get that back on New Japan turf. So Naito wins as I predicted, and yeah, again the match was a blob of nothing. It really was, bro. So that was that. And then for the main event, we had Swerve defending the AEW Championship against Will Ospreay. Amazing. Either way, this match was going to be amazing. Either way, the match itself was going to be amazing. The only thing that scared me, and obviously all you guys know about it, man, but the only thing that scared me was them making the wrong decision. And that is putting both titles on Will Ospreay for the fuck of it. Because I can't even begin to tell you guys how wrong of a decision that would be. Swerve gets introduced by Jim Jones. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I'm in the minority here. I have no idea who Jim Jones is. I don't. Whatever. So, and then Ospreay also had a very, I guess, Japan type entrance. He had somebody playing on his Titantrons. I couldn't tell you who it was, but pretty cool entrance nonetheless. He came out with a mask on and stuff, so pretty cool. Pretty cool, man. But yeah, Swerve got Jim Jones to announce him, or at least come out and I guess be his hype man or whatever. This match was amazing. This match was very, very good, bro. It was good the match went 27 minutes. It was good the whole time, bro, but I'm telling you, the final probably like 10 minutes of the match, dude, when they really started kicking it into full gear, pun intended, man, I mean, they started going nuts, bro. They started going nuts. So very good kickouts. Very, very good kickouts in the match. The crowd was popping huge for these kickouts. And we had MJF watching in the backstage area. Thought that was pretty interesting. Obviously, just more teasing to his inevitable face-off with the aerial assassin. So that was interesting. Swerve hit Will Ospreay with a hidden blade. He hit Ospreay with a hidden blade, man. When Ospreay recovered, he got up and Swerve went to run at him, but he ran at Swerve, goes for the hidden blade, Swerve moves, and Ospreay hits the fucking ref clean with the hidden blade. Damn. And then he pins Swerve Strickland. Wrestling logic, LOL. Bro, you just fucking hit the ref with the hidden blade. And then you hit Swerve with one and you pin him. Bro, you know you just hit the ref. Okay. So he pins him. As he's pinning him, Don Callis comes from the crowd. Oh yeah. Ospreay also did the thing where he pump fake the Tiger Driver, and then he was finally going to hit it. Swerve countered and whatnot. But anyways, Callis comes in and he hands Will Ospreay a screwdriver. Nana goes up to Don and he's trying to get in his face. He's trying to get in his face, and Don's kind of just like ignoring him, trying to tell Will, you need to use it. You need to do it. You need to do it now. And Nana then pushes Don Callis on the ground. Ospreay has the screwdriver. He gets out and he grabs Nana by the shirt and pushes him up against the ring and is pump faking, shanking this motherfucker with the screwdriver. As Nana is just, standing there, he's obviously scared. And, because he thinks Will Ospreay or Michael Myers is going to fucking stab him with the screwdriver. Nana's a little spooked as he's lying there, with his hands up, trying to, tell him, trying to, I guess, tell him he's innocent or whatever. He means no harm. And Will, comes to his senses, and he's looking at the screwdriver in his hand, and he throws it on the ground. My thing is, you're defending Don Callis because, Nana threw him on the ground, but you don't rock with Don. They've never fucking clarified, is he in the Don Callis family? Is he out? The guy's a babyface. The faction's a heel. But then Will gets pissed when Nana puts his hands on Don. He listens to that. That's why I wasn't sure if they were going to turn him heel the way he was sitting there at the end of the match. I honestly was thinking to myself, don't tell me they're going to have Will Ospreay fucking make a heel turn right now. That was a little scary, I guess, because I don't think they should turn Will Ospreay heel. I think if anybody should have been the heel here, it should have been Swerve Strickland, but there I go being a broken record again. But I don't know. That was the only thing that was kind of confusing to me, is he gets ticked off that he pushed Don on the ground, but he's not rocking with Don, and obviously there's got to be a fucking reason for that, because Swerve's a babyface and Callis is a heel, so obviously he must not like them, or at least he must not like them enough to want to be in the Don Callis family like he was, couple back in October for Wrestle Dream, but I don't understand. So anyways, he snaps out of it, and he's looking at the screwdriver, and he throws it down. He throws it down, and he gets into the ring, and Swerve hits him with a house call. He jumps up on the top rope and gives him a Swerve stomp. And he then gives this man another house call. 1, 2, and fucking Will Ospreay kicks out. This popped the crowd huge. Now, Will Ospreay hops right up. And I'm thinking to myself, there is no way they just had Swerve hit this man with 3 finishers in a row, and he gets up. And I was a little annoyed at this at first, because I'm like, dude, where is your selling? But Will Ospreay clearly just had a last boost of adrenaline, and it did not last long at all. He hops up and he's screaming, but then he goes to do the hidden blade, and just his adrenaline rush, he was so beat at that point, his adrenaline rush just immediately went away, and he just fell onto Swerve's chest, and Swerve catches him, as obviously Ospreay, which again, like I said, in the beginning of that, I'm looking at the screen and I'm saying, does this guy really just fucking no-sell 3 of Swerve's finishers? But again, I can appreciate, that they did try it wasn't necessarily that. It was, Swerve or it was Ospreay having an adrenaline rush that, again, he was so beat down from the just wear and tear through the match that the adrenaline rush didn't really last. It was almost like an adrenaline rush pump fake, if you will. The adrenaline pump fake this man gave him a false sense of security and then immediately just went away on him. So he cannot hit the hidden blade as Swerve catches him, and he lets him go as Will falls down on his knees, and he hits him with another house call, and he hits him with the big pressure. 1, 2, 3. Swerve Strickland defeats Will Ospreay. Wow. Banger match. Absolute banger match. That's the first thing. Absolute banger match here from Swerve, as Will Ospreay suffers his first loss in AEW. He suffers his first loss in AEW. And after Swerve did all of that during the build-up, talking about his wife, talking about his kid, Will's sitting in the middle of the ring, all sad, and Swerve goes up to him and gives him a hug. Or he puts his head on his head, as, he's pretty much telling him, he's being sportsmanlike with him. And the commentator said that Swerve told Will this was never personal. This was always just business. Even though this guy was on fucking Dynamite for the past 2 weeks saying anything for my championship is personal. What? That I did not like. But Swerve and Will embrace as Kyle Fletcher is out there, and he pretty much did the same thing for Ospreay that Swerve did for him, just trying to cheer him up, I guess, trying to, be there for him after the tough loss. When I seen Fletcher out there, I kind of started to get excited because I maybe thought there was a chance we could see Mark Davis come out and then these guys were going to, walk away as the United Empire or turn on Swerve or turn Ospreay heel or something, being that, he might be going into a feud with MJF or something, but something, man, something. But none of that happened. And that's all right. I do want to see United Empire back when Mark Davis does get back, but nonetheless, that was that. As I wasn't really too big of a fan of Swerve being sportsmanlike after, and again, the commentator saying he told Ospreay that this was never personal, this was just about business, had to do what I had to do. I didn't appreciate that, again, because the past 2 weeks on Dynamite, this man's been talking about anything for my title is personal. So that, again, didn't make any sense to me. But as far as the match goes, the match was very good. There was very good kick-out spots. Just Will Ospreay, I guess, just ever since Dynasty, he lacks killer instinct. And he lacks, hitting the Tiger Driver and putting people away. I feel like it is eventually going to lead to a heel run for Will, but I don't think now is the time. For Ospreay. But yeah, bro, that was everything, man. That was everything here on this Dynamite, or here on this AEW Forbidden Door card. We did not end up getting a surprise signing. Fightful reported earlier in the day that there are some announced signings who have not yet appeared on AEW or ROH TV, and it is uncertain if they show up tonight, but the possibility is always a chance. So that came out a little bit before the show. Just coincidentally, the same day WWE moves Ricochet to the alumni section, so that was a little interesting to maybe see if they were going to bring in Ricochet that soon, but they didn't. And where he shows up, who knows? But we didn't get no signing. We did get a return of Britt Baker, but But yeah, man, that was that. That was that, bro. And that was about everything for the Forbidden Door review. And yeah, man, the show was pretty meh. Again, the show was pretty meh. It just lacked excitement. It lacked intrigue for the it lacked excitement. It lacked intrigue, man. It really did. And yeah, I don't know. It's not really much more you can say on that, bro. But again, it wasn't a horrible show, but it really gives me 2020 and 2021 Survivor Series meaningless vibes, bro, is what Forbidden Door is slowly but surely and fast turning into, bro. Um so so yeah, man, but that is going to do it. That is going to do it, everybody. Thank you guys so very much for joining me. Hope you guys were messing with the old solo Johnny reviews, man. Thank you to everybody who showed up, man. Thank you to you guys, man. If you guys are here for the first time, or if you guys are here now, thank you guys for everybody that joined. Thank you for everybody in the Replay Mafia, man. Logan, Parker, thank you guys so very much for joining. And again, everybody, as a part of the Replay Mafia, thank you guys so very much. You guys know who you are, man. But that has been your Forbidden Door 2024 review. Again, the good that was on the show was very good. The bad was bad. In the end of the day, aside from a handful of things, it just felt meaningless. And it was just a rather boring AEW show to watch. It was. In all honesty, bro. But with that is going to do it for this edition of your Forbidden Door 2024 review. And with that, it has been always a pleasure for my Johnny. And thank you guys so very much for joining us again. Ladies and gentlemen, please like, comment, and subscribe. The next time we will be coming to you guys for the post show is in 5 days now, being that we're past midnight. In 5 short days for your Money in the Bank 2024 review. Now that is a show to get excited for, bro. Money in the Bank, I'm pumped for it. I know you guys are too. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I cannot wait for you guys to see the graphics made for that one. It looks amazing. It looks absolutely amazing. Just finished up with those last night, so I could mess around a little bit more, see if I can tweak them a little bit more to our liking, but again, just finished up with those last night, or at least pretty close to being done with those as of last night, and bro, I cannot wait for you guys to see them. Absolutely amazing stuff, and thank you guys for joining me. Thank you guys so very much. And with that is going to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so very much. Thank you guys. We love you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you guys tomorrow night after Monday Night Raw for Notorious Unscripted.
I used to get pills on the bitch. Now I throw shields on the dick to stop me from that HIV shit. And niggas know they soft like a Twinkie fillin', playing the villain, prepare for this rap killing. Biggie Smalls is the illest. Your style is played out like Arnold when what you talking about, Willis? The thrill is gone, the black Frank White is here to excite, throw dick to dice. Bitches are like I'm brainless, guns are like I'm stainless